He made the same coffee every morning, served the same customers, never said more than he had to. Until three guys in expensive suits cornered a young waitress in the back corner booth, and everything he'd buried for 20 years came flooding back. Welcome to Silent Heroes Stories. Before we dive into this incredible story, drop a comment and tell us what city you're watching from today. And if you think stories like this deserve to be heard, smash that subscribe button and help us grow the channel. Marcus Weber had been running his little coffee joint in the Riverside neighborhood for 10 years. His crew knew him as this chill, reliable boss, and customers saw him as that nice guy who always remembered their order. Mid-50s, gray hair, average height, basically invisible. The kind of dude you'd walk past on the street without a second thought. The shop ran like clockwork every single day. Doors open at 6 a.m., closed by 6 p.m. Marcus was always first in, last out. Dude never stopped moving. Cleaning the espresso machine, paying bills, counting stock, never just stood around like his brain always needed something to chew on. He had this employee, Emma, sweet 22-year-old college kid working part-time to cover tuition. Hardworking, always smiling, customers loved her. Marcus was super protective of her, not in a creepy way, more like the dad she never had. Always checking if she got home safe after closing, slipping her extra cash when times got rough. That Tuesday morning started normal as hell. Emma showed up early, got the tables ready. Marcus was in back doing paperwork. Regular customers started trickling in, same faces, same orders, same routine. Around 10 a.m., three guys walked in. First look, they seemed legit. Fancy suits, clean cut, walking like they owned the place. But Marcus caught details that made his skin crawl. The bulge under guy number one's jacket. How the second dude kept scanning the room like a security camera. Third guy positioning himself near the exit. 20 years of training kicked in without permission. Reading body language, threat assessment, mapping escape routes. Old habits don't die, they just hibernate. The three took a corner booth in back. When Emma walked over to grab their order, the biggest one grabbed her wrist. "You Emma Rodriguez?" His voice was quiet but sharp as a blade. "We need to have a conversation." Emma went ghost white. "I don't know you. Let go of me. Your old man's Victor Rodriguez. Owes us money. Big money. Now he's a ghost. And you're still here." Marcus could hear this conversation from his office door. The fear in Emma's voice, the threatening tone of the men, the alarm bells inside him began to ring. Marcus's real story was messy as hell. 15 years with the company, CIA. Starting at Langley headquarters and working his way up to Black Ops in the field. Close protection details, intelligence gathering, crisis response. If it was dangerous and classified, Marcus... His final gig was babysitting a diplomat in Afghanistan. Everything was smooth until they walked straight into a kill box. His partner James, best friend, brother in arms, didn't make it home that night. Marcus blamed himself for the mission going sideways and walked away from the life. Months of therapy, psych evals, the whole 9 yards. Finally decided to build something normal, something clean. The coffee shop was his fresh start. Peaceful, harmless, boring. Nobody asking questions about his past, just wanting their caffeine fix and moving on. Perfect place for a ghost to hide in plain sight. But now in his quiet little sanctuary, the shadows were catching up. "Please, I don't even talk to my dad anymore. His debts aren't my problem." Emma's voice was shaking. "Nah, sweetheart, that's not how this works. Family debt means family pays. You find us 50 grand or..." He didn't finish the sentence. Didn't need to. Marcus couldn't just stand there anymore. He stepped out of the back office, clipboard in hand, playing the harmless business owner card. "Emma, everything okay out here? These gentlemen need anything?" One of the suits turned. "Who are you supposed to be?" "I own this place. We got a problem?" "No problem, Pops. Just having a private chat with the girl. Why don't you go count your pennies?" Marcus saw the terror in Emma's eyes, heard that tremble in her voice. 20 years of buried instincts started clawing their way to the surface. Look, from where I'm standing, this doesn't look very private. Maybe I can set you guys up with a different table? The big one stood up, 6 foot something of bad intentions in an expensive suit. Old man, if you want this place to stay in one piece, you'll walk your ass out that door and forget you saw anything. Marcus felt his heart rate spike. Automatic threat calculation kicked in. 3 hostiles, probably armed, civilian environment, innocent, in danger. His brain started running combat scenarios, whether he wanted it to or not. Emma, go to the kitchen, Marcus said, voice dead calm. She stays right here, the goon said, tightening his grip on Emma's arm. That's when something inside Marcus just broke loose. 20 years of hiding just evaporated. Marcus's whole body language shifted. Shoulders squared, balance centered, eyes locked and loaded. He moved like water, deadly and smooth. Last chance, boys. Let her go. Walk out that door. We pretend this never happened. The big guy laughed. What are you gonna do about it, coffee man? Marcus closed the distance in one fluid step. Movement so fast and precise it caught them completely off guard. His hand found the pressure point on the guy's wrist. Textbook nerve control. The thug yelped and released Emma like she was on fire. Emma, kitchen, now, call 911. The other 2 jumped up like their asses were spring-loaded. One went for his jacket, but Marcus was off. He grabbed an empty coffee mug off a nearby table and whipped it at temple height. Perfect shot. Dude went down like a sack of rocks. The third guy was fumbling for his piece when Marcus launched a chair at his chest. Then he was on him, controlling the gun hand with moves that came back like muscle memory. Simple leverage, clean technique. Weapon secured. Other customers in the shop were pulling out phones, some backing toward the exit. Marcus was aware but focused, tunnel vision on the threats. The first guy tried to get back in the fight, but Marcus shut that down quick. Low kick to the knee, elbow to the solar plexus. Dude folded like a bad poker hand. Number 2 was shaking his head, trying to clear the cobwebs from the mugshot. Marcus had him against the wall in seconds, arm twisted behind his back in a compliance hold. I don't know who sent you clowns, but you picked the wrong coffee shop. Who the hell are you, man? The guy gasped. Marcus didn't answer. He didn't need to. Guy number 3 tried to make a run for it, but Marcus caught his ankle and dropped him face first into the floor. Not hard enough to do permanent damage, just hard enough to make a point. Emma had called it in from the kitchen. 5 minutes later, 2 squad cars rolled up, officers coming through the door to find 3 suits zip-tied with coffee shop napkins, and Marcus standing calmly with his hands visible. What happened here? The lead officer asked. Emma came out from the back. Those men were threatening me, trying to collect on my father's debt. Marcus protected me. The cops looked at Marcus. How'd you handle 3 guys by yourself? Marcus shrugged. Got lucky. They weren't exactly Navy SEALs. But one of the officers, John Harrison, former Marine, was reading between the lines. He'd seen those moves before, recognized the professionalism. You prior service? Harrison asked. Something like that, Marcus said. After the cops hauled away the 3 stooges, Marcus closed up shop. Emma was still shaky, but safe. He offered to drive her home. In the car, Emma finally asked the question. Marcus, who are you really? Because normal coffee shop owners don't move like that. Long silence. Then Marcus let out a breath he'd been holding for years. Used to work for the government. Long time ago. Dangerous stuff. Then things went sideways and I decided to try the normal life thing. Like CIA dangerous? Marcus nodded. Let's not dive into that rabbit hole. What matters is you're safe. What about my dad? Are they going to come back? Nah, those were small-time muscle. Once word gets back to their boss that you've got protection, real protection, they'll find easier targets. Trust me on this one. Next day, the coffee shop was back to business as usual, but nothing felt the same for Marcus. Neighbors looked at him different now, part respect, part curiosity. All questions they were too polite.